Hi everyone, welcome back to Frappe School. This is the fourth chapter in our project management course. Today, we will be discussing project accounting. By the end of this chapter, you will know how to track project expenses, track project revenues, and analyze project profitability. Project accounting is an integral part of project management. It focuses on the financial transactions that take place while creating and fulfilling a project. It allows various processes like tracking, reporting, and analyzing all the financial data related to a project. This is especially helpful in large scale projects that span over a longer period of time, like construction, engineering, consulting services, or government projects. These kinds of projects require adequate accounting since they face the risk of surpassing their budget. Project accounting can help recognize early signs so that project managers can take corrective measures. Creating project budgets and tracking expenses against them is a key project control mechanism. Let's see how it works in ERPNext.
Let's first start by creating a budget against a project. To create a budget, we can navigate from Home to the Accounting module and go to Budget under the Cost Center and Budgeting section. Once we open the budget list, we can see all the budgets created in the system before. To create a new one, click on Add Budget. Since we want to create this budget for a project, in the Budget Against field, we will select Project instead of Cost Center. Then, we will select the particular project for which we want to create this budget. Suppose UK office setup. We can also add a monthly distribution for this budget. In the Control Action section, we can configure when the budget validation should be triggered. By clicking Applicable on Material Request checkbox, we can make sure that the products and services being requested are within the budget. We can tick on Applicable on Purchase Order checkbox to make sure purchases are within the allocated budget. We can tick Applicable on Booking Actual Expenses checkbox to enable validations when the actual expenses are being booked. Actual expenses are booked via multiple transactions like purchase invoice, journal entry, payroll entry, etc. Further, we can specify if the system should prevent the transaction from being submitted or it should just show a warning message when the monthly or yearly budget is being exceeded. Next, we can add budget accounts by first selecting an account. Let's take administrative expenses as an example and assign a budget to it. Next, we can allocate a certain budget for legal expenses. We can add as many accounts as we want, and once done, we can save and submit this budget. Let's create a material request for office consumables item. We need to make sure the project and right expense account are selected. We can select the default expense account in the item master if needed. Next, let's try to submit the material request. We get a message stating we will be exceeding the budget and the system will not allow us to submit the material request. We can see a similar validation when we try to create a purchase order for an item against the project. Next, let's see the validation when we try to submit the purchase invoice. We can tag the project in other transactions like expense claim, journal entry, payroll entry, etc. So now that we have seen how to create a budget for projects and how to tag projects in various financial transactions, let's explore a budget variance report based on these transactions and budget. We can find the budget variance report by searching for it in the Awesome bar. Once we open the report, we can see a comparison between the actual budget set for any project or cost center and the actual expenses of that project. It shows the difference, that is, variance between the two. We can view this report monthly, quarterly, half yearly, or yearly. Let's see how to tag a project in a sales invoice. We can find the sales invoice list in the accounting module under the accounts receivable section. When we open a new sales invoice, we can scroll down to the accounting dimension section and tag the UK office setup project here. Once the rest of the details are added, we can save and submit the sales invoice.
This brings us to the end of the fourth chapter in our project management course. I hope this helped you understand how to use ERPNext to create project budgets and track expenses. You can read more about ERPNext on docs.erpnext.com. In the next chapter, we will discuss the customer portal and reports in project management. Thank you.